been a while since I've seen this here.
Jesus Christ! When were you going to let me out? I've been in it since Gort. Oh my God. He wanted this car back like a month ago. Okay, welcome back. The last time you seen this car was in Gort. The last time you seen me, I was in the UK. Although it does look like we're still in the UK because it's sunny. Now we're not in Gort anymore and I'm no longer in the UK. We're in Galway. Okay. We're slowly working our way up the country. A lot's happened since we last spoke about the business side of things. Oh, I forgot I had these. Nutri-Grain bars, nice. A lot's happened since we last spoke about the business side of things, I suppose. We didn't really speak about what happened that we have started moving. I mean, I don't think we've informed them either about the whole thing of we had a place, then we didn't have a place, now we have a place again. Better or worse? What do you reckon?
Slightly bigger.
Just a bit. Back to work. We're back at the Altezza. There was a massive hold up with this. We had stripped the engine down, got everything prepped. I'll show you in a minute. All been machined, cleaned, washed, checked. It actually turned out the engine was okay. Not that it was okay, but it is okay. It was savable. Main issue was the oil pump. I think we were like, 4, 5, 6 weeks waiting for the oil pump to come in. Only available from Toyota. So brand new oil pump, the old one was destroyed. That was the big hold up with this. So we are in a temporary location. And we will be here until this car is done. We have Renato's car to do, if that's ever going to happen. And then, are we going to do one more car here?
Might do. Well, mine's done. Renato's is going to be done. So
that's done, yeah.
There's one more car.
What's the other car?
I don't know. Let's give him a sneak peek, shall we?
Savage. That looks absolutely class.
That's all they're getting. Back to the video. They've
never seen the yard actually.
No. Or your other two.
This little gem over here. She may look rough. That's because she is. But when you open the bonnet, you're kind of wondering, like, why would he have this piece of shit sitting in his yard? Red top. Manual. Factory manual. Love this car. That's going to get a big restoration in Galway metal. But yeah, some of the stuff, like there's the yellow Altezza, my Corrado's here, the bike is here. They've never seen this actually on the channel.
I'd say leave it just at that.
And I think that's the way we're going to leave it. Yeah, they haven't seen this car.
All they're seeing is that corner and the big wing in the back.
Yeah, and the fact that it is slowly becoming part of a timber pile. Yeah, but they haven't seen that one. Have they seen this one? I don't think I've ever had this one on the channel.
That's the OG.
That's the OG, yeah. This was meant to make a big comeback. This is my very first ever drift car. I have this, Jeez, I must have this since 2012. That's 13 years ago I bought this. Started off like all of them, an original 328 road car, and ended up...
Very cool colours to be fair. This was one of my favourite colours.
That was the original, yeah.
That's very cool.
That was the first time I painted it.
And that colour was
then I got that, then I got the grey, and it's like, it will make a comeback. I'm very, very attached to the shell. Sentimental. A normal person would scrap it.
Logo on the back.
What's the logo on the back? Funny story about that. That actually said Williams Motors Garage across the bottom. Renato made the sticker for me and he spelt garage wrong. So when he put the sticker on the car, it said Williams Motors Gargay. So we had to take the garage off it. But that was a 1J. That was my first ever 1J swap car. That car. I did that 1J swap when I was in Foss. I did it I took 2 weeks out of college. Don't do what I do, like that's not a sensible thing. I was fine. I took 2 weeks out of college and I 1J swapped to my E36 and then brought it to a drift bash in Mondello. So no, that car means a lot to me. That's here. We have your car. Where's the rest of my cars? Oh yeah, they're just all over the place right now. So we've...
One car to move from your old property and a van.
Yeah, that car is like... I don't think anybody wants to actually attempt to push that car because it weighs 75 tons.
Tried?
So I'm pretty sure someone's tried to steal it and realised it's not movable. That's the 635 CSI, just in case you're wondering. And then obviously the 335i is over there, the X5 is over there. We have shit everywhere. I have my first ever 1J here as a table. That was in that E36, that needs some work. And out here, we have a little corner set up. And so I decorated. So I think when I'm building engines, I need something nice to look at. So I've put a 1J here, and I've put a Merc Red top there, and I think that gives me the inspiration to actually do some work. Because I'm finding it hard to get work done. But we're getting there. The engine has been sent away, it's been machined. They've actually decked the engine block as well. It was like a banana. Surprisingly enough, engine blocks usually don't go out of shape, but engine had a bit of a history. So block has been decked, cylinders were honed, measured, they're actually still around. It was savable. All the mains have been checked. We're currently in the process of checking ring gaps. Now, these are standard OE Toyota piston rings, and if I had to gap them, there'd be a big problem because they should be just a direct fit. But the reason we check ring gaps is not because these would be too tight, but there's a chance that the gap on these could be too big, because if this has gone oversize, you're going to end up with, instead of a gap like that, the gap is going to get bigger. You're going to get blow by oil consumption, be down on power. So we set all the rings in the cylinders and we just run through them one by one, and we just check the gap on them. If the gap gets too big, it needs to be bored bigger pistons. You have a minimum and a maximum spec. So that's where we're at in the middle at the moment. Gapping all the rings, everything is cleaned. Crank has been polished. Pistons have been cleaned, inspected, sized to the crank, make sure everything is okay, the oil clearances are fine. We're just getting the new rings on. Once I have those checked, we can get the rest of the rings on the pistons. ACL race, big end bearings, ACL race mains. That's the head. It's been taken apart, cleaned. The valve seats have been checked and the head has been skimmed. That was fine, it needed a little bit of work, but it is okay now. And then over here we have all genuine Toyota gasket sets for everything. Genuine Toyota filters. We have 3 of these because after the engine is together, we're going to have to do a 500-mile break-in period, followed by a 1,000-mile journey, and then an oil change after that. Break-in, people have different methods. Some people just believe drive the shit out of the car. Is that a junction? No. Some people believe take it easy. We'll start the car in a mineral break-in oil first, and then we'll move to 2050 VR1. I think a varied driving style for braking is the best. So not very harsh acceleration, but 3/4 throttle. It helps bed the rings onto the cylinder. The issue with not braking the engine correctly is there's cross-hatching in these cylinder walls, and that is there to bring the oil away from the rings and get it down into the sump, and it also helps the sealing of the piston ring. Now, when these are new and the cross hatching is new here, these have to mate to each other, and that's what your break-in process is about. You're not breaking in the bottom end bearings or anything like that. That is not part of the break-in, but you will get a certain amount of metal coming from here and on the cylinder walls. Now, if you drive it too easy, what happens is the piston ring does not get pressed against the cylinder wall hard enough, because the compression over the piston pushes on the piston rings and squeezes them against the cylinder wall. If they're not squeezed hardly enough against the cylinder wall, what you can get is glazing, where you actually shine the cylinders in the engine and you'll shine the piston rings, then you end up with low compression and massive oil consumption. So braking on a new engine when you're going to the point of rings is massively important. If you were just doing a bottom end refresh, bearings, mains, whatever, rods and stuff like that, you don't have to brake it in. But when you're doing anything like this, braking is very, very important. Keeping an eye on the oil that comes out as well, checking for foreign materials. You will see some grey metals in it, but that's just coming from the cylinders. Other than that, really, that's the biggest thing with a new build on an engine. So we have all the stuff here. We're going to start getting it back together, and hopefully by the time I leave to go somewhere, this will be done and it will be broken in. We have other stuff to do to the car as well. We have some bushings to do. We have to set the coilovers because the dog that worked on it last made a balls of them. Surprisingly enough, brand new BCs. Just like the engine that he made a balls of. But we won't get into that now. We've been through a lot in the last couple of months with him. I think what else is there to do with the car? The man behind the camera is going to give her a full polish and a compound, yeah. Get her back yellow, because she might look yellow in the camera, but she is no longer yellow. She's dark, yeah, which you're actually happier about because you prefer that colour. So we'll get it polished, we'll get the interior cleaned up, engine back in, we'll get all the parts washed. We have other stuff there as well to do. We've brake caliper to be done, a few bits and pieces with the brakes, and get her ready for test. Well, this is you're pointing at the toe to cams where it all started. Well, this is where it all went downhill, because
I'm excited to hear that.
We started off doing a timing belt and ended up with a full engine rebuild. But because of these, we took the rocker cover off, seen there was cracks in the cams, and ended up convincing them to do toe to camshafts. And Tommy as well. Tommy's going in the little box beside the engine. I can't wait to hear Tommy. Tommy's good. Tommy's a good man. We all like Tommy. I think that's it. We might do a little bit of a montage. I love the word montage. You're going to say, well, they already know how much I love the word montage from the last video. I'm getting used to this whole continuity thing now because the video isn't even up yet. What about the last video? We'll do a couple little clips of me getting the engine together and some measurements and stuff like that, but I'm not going to make you sit there and watch me put an engine together for the next probably 2 days. So we'll cut the clip. I think that's enough. I'm happy to be out of the engine bay, and David's here behind. I don't know, he wants to go fishing or something. He's like, next update. Fuck.
Whoa.
Welcome back. What you want? I've laid out some of the bits. There's stuff to do to the car itself that I'm going to get through today. So I have back pads, control arm bushings, a caliper, a rose joint, the little bracket for the bonnet to hold up the stay, and some pins for the sliders in the back. I have to adjust coilovers and stuff like that. So while we're waiting on thrust washers for that engine, we don't have them here. So while we're waiting while we're waiting for the new thrust washers to arrive, we may as well get some stuff done with the car. So we've gotten it up on some axle stands. It's like a modern day 2-post lift. I really miss my lift. I can't wait for to have my lift again. Yeah, it's kind of sad. No, we'll have it back soon though. Believe me, very soon. I just gave the car a quick wash before we brought it in, so to run through it, do the coilovers, some bushings and bits and pieces like that, and then hopefully the thrust washers will be here soon for this. The crank is in, but we have 2 thrust washers to go in here, so once they're in, then we can finish assembling the engine. That's kind of the update, really. I know how to write. It's annoying as well because they kind of leak on the floor. If anyone knows who owns this engine, can you please come collect it? No. Yeah, Kevin Kenny's house. Put it in right here. No, I don't know. They're like.
Give them a quick specs about the two of them.
2JZ GE VVTi, 1JZ GTE non-VVTi, M111K supercharged red top Mercedes engine, and then in the corner then is a built 1JZ GTE non-VVTi, and then out there's another 1JZ GTE non-VVTi. That's my old engine from my drift car, and then there's another one on the way from Australia. That one in the corner has a home. You know, I know that has a home. We just haven't released the home yet. I'm still convinced that will look good on an E30. Since you last seen it, yeah, we have the brand new Gemini. You're gonna knock on my workbench here now. Jesus. Brand new Gemini Toyota water pump with new optional extra seal. And we have the rear main on, the crank is in. These 4 mains are torqued down. This one may be torqued down, but it has to come off again because we're missing the thrust washers. So crank is in. We're as far as we can go, really. I don't want to go too far with it until the thrust washers are in. Hopefully they arrive today. And this car needs to be done by next Thursday. So giving you Wednesday evening, yeah. Giving you an idea timeline. It's now Friday, nearly 11 o'clock. Friday at 11 o'clock. And
England video is getting uploaded as we speak.
As we speak, yeah. So it's Friday at 11 o'clock. By Wednesday evening next week, this car has to be back together and broken in.
More than that.
Oh yeah, wait till he calms down. He doesn't care. Put it in the video. Put it in the video. Put it. I feel I should have an Oliveira bottle.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't care. Just don't point it out.
So
people won't know it.
Welcome to the channel. Do you want to give us a quick talk through some specs of the car?
No, I don't talk in the video. Sorry.
You just talked in the video, so you're a liar.
It won't be, it's not mic'd. It won't come up.
It will come up because he's right beside me.
You smell like shit.
I actually smell good. You smell like shit.
No, I don't.
So he just got the car fully resprayed. We did not do it. Let's just be clear, we did not do this. It's horrendous.
It's good. No, you're on camera, they're not going to believe you, mate.
Does it look good on camera?
Yeah, of course it does. You're disappointed now. You look disappointed now that it looks good on camera.
It's awful, like.
Point out shit.
Oh, now that the bonnet.
No matter what you point out, like I'm looking at the lens here now, it looks good.
Surely it'll pick this up. We can't.
Pick the silver up, yeah. Because it does on pictures.
Can you see it?
Not really. No. Because look at the pictures.
They're going to think we're liars. Oh, it looks savage.
Yeah. So do you want to say whose car this is and where is it going?
This car?
And what's he doing for it? Oh, yeah.
This is Renato's car. It used to be mine, actually.
Oh, yeah.
This is my old car.
What's his plans for Donegal?
He's going to bring it into ferries and try and take the back off it.
Oh, yeah, do the outro with your head.
The outro?
Yeah. Jimmy understands.
Jimmy knows. Because this pump, with this sump, goes crazy.
Oh.
Yeah. Update video. The engine is now the other way around. What, would you call this a short block? The short block is done. Pistons and rods are in. Oil pump is on. Upper sump, lower sump, oil pickup, crank, bearings, thrust washers. All in, ready for the head to go on now. Williams Precision Works. Have to respect the grind. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Where was it the last time? The head wasn't even on, was it? No, the head's on, cams are in. We've done the valve clearances because it's a solid lifter head. If you don't know what that is, just Google it, it's easier than me explaining. We have rocker cover on. We have the VVTi hubs on the front of the cams, timing belts on, covers on, crank pulleys on. Oh, you missed it, we built oil pressure all over my top. The oil pump sits right here, it's a brand new oil pump. You do not want to start it with a brand new oil pump without priming it. So we put the engine together, filled it with oil and spun the oil pump with the old trusty Ugga Dugga. Just spinning it until it builds oil pressure. If you're building oil pressure in these, make sure you put the caps in the end of the cams. Because if you don't have that in, it's going to get oil everywhere. Just makes it safer. We had a couple of oil leaks over the back of the head and the side of the head and everywhere. That's liquid engineering right there. That oil with this engine goes crazy. Ah! Wait a second. This says for cars pre-1903. David. For this, because it has new rings and bearings and stuff like that, you don't want too much lubrication. We're trying to get the piston rings to actually grind on the cylinder walls to make a good seal. So we use a mineral oil which has the lubrication of butter. It'll help everything bed in properly. This is like start it up, run it for maybe a minute, and then you'll be draining the oil straight away. There's going to be a lot of metals in the system, so this is the first process of breaking the engine in. Run it for a couple of minutes in this, drain it out, and then go straight to a fully synthetic 2050 is what we're going to put in it. We're going to do 200 miles of a break-in, so that's why we're using this. Like, comment, subscribe. The comment that gets the most likes will win this Castrol GTX can. I'm not actually going to give them the can. Someone's underneath the car doing a bit of work.
Howdy.
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 Say howdy, get rowdy. Ryan's in there doing the bushings. That's Ryan. You might see him in a video coming to cinemas and soon. Tomorrow, it should be done, we hope. And we'll be driving around trying to break in the engine. Engine's pretty much there. It's actually come a long way. Like, a lot's happened since we last talked to you. But this is getting a full compound, which is also going to be done by David Oliveira. Drop the Instagram right there. Can you see how faded it is in the camera?
Yeah.
You can see it right there. Y56 Dakar. And I think that's kind of it. We'll update you with what has happened. Welcome back for some bonus material. Everybody's gone home. I am left here on my own. As you can tell, the angle of the camera gives it away because it's not as far away as it would be if David was recording. So I am here. It is, I don't know if that can be backwards in the video or not. 3:50, 4 a.m. and ta-da! The engine is in. Now by in, I don't mean the engine is ready to start. I mean the engine is literally just plopped in. The gearbox is there. I may be a bit cranky, so we'll get back to it in the morning. Good night, God bless. But I actually feel worse now that I've slept. And that's always the way. So the energy is going to be high today. No, in case you haven't noticed, David's always on about continuity. Well, the engine's back out again because we decided that it was better to put the gearbox on first and put the engine in. The engine was sitting in and I just looked at it and I said, I don't want to lie on my back for that long. So from this point until it's actually running is very quick, because when you put them in with the gearbox, it's like everything is on. Starter, the whole shebang. The only thing you put on is the oil pump. So we're going to get it dropped in and we're going to take it for its first test drive today. Goodbye, people. I'm absolutely starving, but we're about to do the first start. Hey! It should. That's it, people, the genuine first start. And that's it, folks. That's a genuine first start. I have to get petrol for it. It's about to run out of fuel because while it was outside, the tank managed to drain itself. And we didn't take the petrol out of it. It literally drained out of the fuel line. Oil pressure looks okay. Idles are very low, it's running out of petrol. Also, there's no airflow meter on, so it doesn't want to rev. And that's it. That's the actual genuine first start. No airflow meter, vacuum lines off, running out of petrol, but yeah, it actually starts. So next step now is to finish off all the ancillaries on the engine. We get the power steering pump on, we get the belt, the airbox, connect up the airflow meter, get the AC lines on, prop, selector into the gearbox, and put some petrol in it. And that's it then. Break-in time. Now, can we go eat, please? The boss is awful mean to me. Just been stamped. And that's it, done. We've run the engine up to temperature, bled the coolant. There was a lot of air in the coolant. That took a bit of time. Let it get up to temperature, let the fans run. We have taken out the mineral oil after running it for about 5 minutes, and now we have it filled up with 20W50 Valvoline VR1 Racing. Please sponsor us if you want to. This now is going to be about a 200-mile break-in process of mixed driving. Very, very, very fast, and then not so very, very, very fast. And we've run through the engine. The only issue we have is there's a slight leak at the bottom of the exhaust manifold. One of the studs is a little bit, how should I say, stripped. So we'll have to fix that afterwards, but other than that, yeah, happy how it runs. The Tom's ECU is in, like a quick rundown of the engine. Full ACL bearings set in the bottom end, block decked, honed, brand new genuine Toyota piston rings. It's got a brand new genuine Toyota metal head gasket. The head was skimmed, pressure tested, valves reseated, and then it has towed the racing cams, reshimmed the head, full genuine Toyota gasket set top to bottom, and that's kind of it really, yeah. Just it's not too crazy of a build, but there was a lot of issues with this car that needed to be tidied up, as with the previous SR20 Altezza. So yeah, now the next step, same owner. And it's funny because this car was very similar to the last one. Like, there was a similar, I don't know, felt the same. There was a lot of stuff that wasn't, what would you say, put together right. And it's not the owner. I don't know. Maybe it's the person who's buying the cars off. Or the bad mechanic that was working on them. Anyway, but engine needs to be cleaned and washed. The plastics and all that need to be cleaned down, and it'll get the Oliveira touch, tyre shine, look and spec. But a quick and while I'm gone travelling, you're going to be doing a bit of polishing and a bit of cleaning. So let's cut to the driving. Like, it's very uneventful really. I know on YouTube people want to see like, my first drive, got a piston come through the bonnet. And you're like, oh, 10 grand down the toilet. What's going to tow the horse box tomorrow? But like, this is what we want. This is just nice and handy, like. But I'm telling you, I reset the coilovers in the front of the car. Night and day difference. Before, the car was doing this weird thing. The front left, it was like falling down on the front left. How does it sound compared to a standard Altezza? Raspier? Definitely a bit raspier, if that's what you're into. Yeah, it's punchy. I think the starting to liven up a little now, isn't it? Like, we're breaking in an engine. Don't be afraid to go full throttle driving on a little, like, it's more so to do with the revs. So like, as you're breaking it in, try and stick to 5,000 or 6,000 RPM max, because it's the high revs that they don't do anything for the braking of the engine, and all you end up doing is damaging the bearings and glazing the cylinders, because everything in the engine is moving too quick. yeah, we'll update you when we've hit the 150 miles. Peace out. This steering wheel with this, what's that called? What's that? Oh, what's the name of them? Scrunchy?
Yeah.
Yeah. This steering wheel with this scrunchy goes crazy.